What an amazing win by the Mets. Let's talk about it. And well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watts2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. Man, so the New York Mets, we're heading down to Atlanta. It's been a rough start to the season, as we all know, and they're heading down to their personal torture chamber known as Cobb County, Georgia. We know the Braves are stacked, one of the two definitely most talented teams in the National League, and this is just a roster that never gives you a break, especially in the lineup. You got Travis d'Arnaud batting 8th, the ex-Mets catcher. He always kills them. Jared Kelenic is batting .571 in the 9th spot. The former prize Mets prospect who was traded away in the Edwin Diaz trade and did not work out so well in Seattle. Well, put it this way. Just about every Mets fan, I think, is expecting him to come in and just torture the Mets. But you know what? The Mets got off to a horrible start, 0-5. There are a lot of Mets fans who are already writing this team off. Felt this is the way they were going to play the entire season. I don't know, I guess the first 5 games pretty much dictates how you're going to play for the next 6 months. But since then, the fact of the matter is they are 4-1 since that horrible start. But I'll tell you what got me the most excited about tonight's game. It wasn't just that they beat Atlanta, although there is no team in baseball I want to beat more than the Atlanta Braves. What I love so much about this is it showed the Mets don't need their best players to succeed. This is a deeper team than we knew. I mean, let's talk about this game and figure out the names that we're talking about, the names we're not talking about. They're 4-0 down in the 3rd inning. I mean, Julio Teheran could not get out of the 3rd inning. Let's be honest, guys. What did we really expect from him? He hasn't been a good pitcher in years. The Mets just signed him. He's just here to hold down the fort for the next couple of weeks. I don't expect him to be on this roster past maybe May, barring injury. But the Mets get a run back quickly. starlingmarte singles home Pete Alonso for the first run of the game. And then in the 5th inning, Charlie Morton starts the inning by walking Jeff McNeil and Joey Wendell, the 8 and 9 hitters. And on a 1-1 pitch, brandonnimmo hits his first home run of the year, absolutely slams it about 430 feet into the chop house section in Truist Park. Just destroyed that baseball. Travis d'Arnaud, of course, comes back with a big double, so the Braves lead 5-4 in the 6th, but the Mets answer right back. Top of the next inning, Nimmo with a solo home run, and it's 5-5. Now, I think one of the things to point out at this point in the game was the Mets did not have their best pitchers available. Okay, not only did they use basically what would be their 7th or 8th starter, but they needed 6 2/3 innings from the back of their bullpen. Their top 3 relievers were not available in Diaz, Ottavino, and Raley. So, instead, it was Reed Garrett, Cole Sulser, who was just called up, Jakediekman, Drewsmith, and Jorgelopez. Absolutely crazy. So when Jakediekman comes in, and I believe it was the 7th inning, and last time out he was terrible when he came into a game, and he starts by leading off with a walk. Always a big problem for a reliever, but immediately gets Matt Olson to ground into a double play and strikes out Marcell Ozuna looking. Very, very impressive start. Then in the top of the 8th inning, let's go to the top of the 8th when the game is tied at 5. There's 2 runners down, Brett Beatty on second. Up comes djstewart. Now, every Mets fan I know has been killing this guy. He hasn't had a hit all season. There are so many Mets fans everywhere you look on social media that want this guy gone. I've even seen some people, absolute numbskulls, comparing him to Daniel Vogelback, which is just ridiculous. But you know what? I've always made no secret. I'm a djstewart fan. I don't expect him to be an all-star or anything like that, but I believe he can serve a good purpose on a Major League Baseball team. But even I couldn't defend his performance as of late. I just couldn't, but I felt he was underachieving. And I felt this was going to be his moment. I just had a weird feeling. I'm not saying I was seeing home run, But I am saying that I knew if he didn't make an impact in this at-bat, he may not get another chance. And Pierce Johnson throws a 1-0 curveball right over the middle of the plate, and boom, absolutely no doubt, everybody, the second you heard the crack of the bat, you knew that ball was going to be gone, and it splashes out into the fountains in center field, and the Mets take the lead they would never relinquish. A big-time home run by djstewart, and I gotta be honest, I was going crazy on social media. I was like, get down on your knees and apologize to DJ. And I have no regrets about doing it, because the way people were killing this guy, I knew he was better than that. You know, it was good to see a good player and a good guy, you know, make the haters eat a little bit of humble pie. It just was. We'll see where he goes from here. It's one at bat, but you know what? It was a huge at bat and a huge moment, and he came through. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Dekman walks the leadoff hitter again, and out he comes, and in comes Drew Smith. Drew Smith, I got to give him credit. He has guts. He's a very frustrating pitcher to watch. He gives up home runs at times. He loses control at times. But you can't say that he lacks toughness. He threw 31 pitches in that eighth inning. He allows a single to Orlando Arcia. What a pain in the neck he is. Mets could not get him out most of the night. He strikes out both d'Arnaud and Kelenic, bringing up the top of the order. He walks Acuna. He walks Ozzie Albies to force in a run. And up comes Austin Riley, another very dangerous hitter. And the great thing about Drew Smith here, he got ahead in the count. He got to an 0-2 count, and then he gets Riley to ground out to third base, inning over, onto the ninth. Mets do nothing in the top of the ninth at all, so they got a 2-run lead going into the bottom of the ninth. And how many times over the years have we seen the Braves walk off the Mets or rally for a late win? And with Jorge Lopez pitching the ninth inning, you had to be scared. Anybody other than Edwin Diaz, you had to be nervous. And Lopez basically gave every Mets fan the equivalent of a tooth extraction. You know, so as soon as the first batter reached base, I think it was on second base immediately, you knew that run was coming in. I think it was Olsen with a double. So then Ozuna comes up, Marcell Ozuna, horrible human being, and he hits a high fly ball to left field. I mean, off the bat, I thought it was probably gone. But Tyronetaylor, not really known for his defense, goes back all the way to the wall. It was not going to be a home run, but it would have been extra bases, and he makes a really good catch. And I don't want to say saves the game, but definitely gives the Mets an opportunity. But Harris singles in the run. He then steals second. So the Mets are up 8-7, runner on second with only one out. Up comes Orlando Arcia, who I think had 3 hits in this game, and Lopez gets him to pop up in a big moment. And then up comes Travis d'Arnaud, and he gets d'Arnaud. He hit the ball hard. He hit it to pretty deep right center, all the way to the warning track. But Marte makes the catch, and the Mets win definitely their gutsiest win of the season. They take it 8-7, and now 3 more games to go in Atlanta. And you know what? Just go win one more. Get the split. I would have signed for a split immediately. But again, the thing with this Mets team, they didn't have their 3 best relievers. They had maybe their 7th or 8th starting pitcher. But notice several players' names I did not mention. You got nothing in this game from Francisco Lindor. You got nothing from Francisco Alvarez. You got nothing from Pete Alonso, except I believe he walked and then scored a run. But the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in this lineup went a combined over 13, and the Mets still scored 8 runs. And believe me, they were not as a result of errors. Great night for Brandonnimmo, 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 5 RBI. Just a fantastic job. You know, you have to wonder. There's been a lot of talk about the leadoff spot. Should Nimmo be moved out? I think in the near future that is going to happen. I think in the next year, because, you know, when he's on, he's on. I don't care about the stolen bases. I care about him getting on base. But to me, if Jet Williams or Luis Angel Acuna could take over that leadoff spot, and then you put like Nimmo 2, Lindor 3, hopefully Alonso 4, Alvarez, you know, Beatty or Alvarez 5, 6, something like that. Well, now you've got a lineup to really, really work with here. So, but I am very excited about that win. I think that is the kind of win that could really give some confidence to a team. But Biggest concern, the starting rotation. I know starting pitchers don't pitch 8-9 innings anymore, but eventually you got to get a good 6-7 innings from one of these starting pitchers. Just no way around it because you can't keep wearing out that bullpen. But those are my thoughts on Mets Braves tonight. What a win it was. And let's see how they do the rest of the week. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.